Welcome to the Live Sports in New Mexico show. My name is Chris, and I got two co-hosts today. I got DeMarcus and Jordan from Matrisco. Pastor Brian, he's out of town for this week, but we're going to talk about a few things, a few basketball things. You know, basketball season has wrapped up for the NBA and for all of us, basically. Now it's the summertime. Speaking of that, we have our Legacy Basketball Camp. Myself and Jamal Fenn, another former Lobo of mine, that used to play. We are doing a camp in the second and third week of July. So the 10th and 13th is going to be for the kindergarten through 5th graders. And then the next week would be the 6th through 12th graders. It's going to be a lot of fun and competitive games for prizes. A lot of different things that we're going to teach. We teach basketball IQ, different agility stuff we're going to test. And also we might even have an NBA guest speaker, so we're working on that. So stay tuned to see who it is. But speaking of the NBA, I got two, I guess you guys say experts, they play basketball. Warriors Cavs, it ended the other night, 4-1. DeMarcus, what's your take on it?
I don't like KD anymore. I say, why you gotta go to the Golden State just to beat LeBron? Why you gotta?
Okay.
You just mess up the NBA. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
No more competition.
Too many all-stars on one team is not the best, but if you can't beat them, join them. I guess that was his mentality. So.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. And then I'm kind of putting in your guys' perspective. I know you guys had a good run in the state tournament. What would you ever think? Because I know you guys are pretty close with even like the Volcano Vista guys and Ben and Dre. And Jelante, would you ever think to join them, or do you want to beat them?
We're beating them.
Okay, because that's what I'm thinking as a competitor. That's what I wanted. I would want to do. So, even thinking about that, back in the day, it was really, I don't think Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, or Michael Jordan would ever want, to join forces to do this and to beat anybody. Because I don't think. If I'm an NBA fan, I'm not really caring about the regular season or even the playoffs, because the last two, or last three, right? The last three have been Warriors Cavs. So do you think there's going to be any big changes in the NBA next year, like players moving teams and different things like that?
Oh yeah, now that KD did that, yeah, he started something.
I feel like now everyone's gonna think, well, if he did it, then I can do it too.
Right. I think because it used to be just, if you had two solid all-stars, at least two solid all-stars, you're going to win it. Now it's taking, about 3 all-stars to do it and some good role players. What do you think is going to be the biggest move in the off-season?
I don't know. From what I've seen on social media, I think the Cavs might pick up Gordon Hayward or Wade.
Okay.
Or who else? Melo. So we'll see. One of those guys will be a big change.
Okay.
Big change.
What do you think your big move is?
I'd have to agree with him, because like the Cavs being as good as they are, and for them to pick up like a key player, if like they picked up Melo, then that'd be crazy.
I know Melo wants a ring too, so
yeah. So your guys are thinking it's just gonna be Warriors Cavs, and then these guys are just gonna
hop on the team.
Just hop on whatever team. It's either the Warriors or Cavs. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm still a Laker hopeful fan, so I'm like, I'm trying to see if Magic is going to be building up that team. So my big move is what I'm hoping for is Paul George. He joins the Lakers. So we'll definitely see. I think this is probably going to be one of the most watched free agent periods, and also the draft. What do you think of the draft? Who's going 1 and 2, or what do you think is happening there?
What did Lonzo Ball go, second?
I think he's second.
They're saying second.
I don't agree with that though. That's the thing. I think Monk should have been first. From Kentucky. Monk was
Malik
nice.
Monk.
Yeah.
Good scorer, long guy.
Yeah.
I think, LeVar, his dad, just speaking it into existence. He's just trying to do that. So it's kind of that thing. I kind of thinking about it like if I tell you about a movie and I say, oh, it's the greatest movie ever, you go watch it, and then you're like, well, it wasn't that good. But if I told you like, oh, the movie was all right, you go in and then you think it's great. So I think it's kind of the perspective now. It's just like, man, you're talking your son up, you're thinking he's great and all this, but I don't know. There's some. I think there's some different thoughts about that. I think he's a good player. I think he's a playmaker.
Yeah, like he is a good player, but like a lot of players, like he still has a lot of stuff to work on. So
right.
But like his dad makes him seem like he's already there, like where he has to be. But I don't feel like he is.
Right, and that's another thing. What I'm thinking with what LeVar is doing is he's kind of adding pressure. You know, he's adding pressure to his son because, like, when you add pressure to something, I mean, something great comes out of it, or he either falls apart, or he does some good things. So, yeah, we'll definitely see how that's going to pan out. But also for you guys here at Atrisco, come, you know, make a good state tournament run, win New Mexico games. What is the feel right now as you're going through summer workouts? What is kind of do you have a saying? Do you have a motive right now? What is going on right now at Atrisco?
We're not trying to say that we're going to make it to the state championship right away.
Mm-hmm.
We're not saying, oh, it's going to be us in Cruces or us in Volcano.
Right.
We want to take it one game at a time, as slow as we can, just to make sure we don't get too big-headed about making there. Because next thing you know, we'll make it to won't even win first round if we do that.
Yeah, overlooking.
So yeah, that's the look at it right now.
What do you think?
I agree, like, to a point. Like, I feel like the guys on the team know we belong back in the state tournament, and especially, like, it was a little fluke that we lost to Volcano. They're a great team, like, don't get me wrong, but we feel like we should have won that game. So I'm pretty sure the mentality is we're getting back and we're going to do whatever it takes to get back.
Right.
At least that's how I feel, and I hope everyone else feels the same way.
Yeah, and that's what we're hoping. It's not like the NBA where you two go and join Volcano and try to win a few more, but that's definitely going to be fun to watch. Also, both of you guys play AAU ball here in the summer. What do you think how does that help? How does that really help you as you're trying and you're playing at this level, but also wanting to play at the next level?
Competition. The competition. Right. Mexico, there is competition here. I'm not saying that at all, but out of state, there's a lot more size and quickness, and it's definitely good for any basketball player to play AAU, I think, just to get that exposure in any of that.
Yeah, you can't compare New Mexico, like, you can't really compare New Mexico competition to, like,
any other state, really.
Any other state, because guys are just bigger and more athletic, like.
For being the fifth biggest state, I think you can compare us to New Jersey, and there's just a different competition base, like huge, big. I just think.
Right, and even the pace of the game, it's different because I remember, I think that's how it still is today. It's 16-minute and it's stop clock. So what the refs think, you know, they want to finish the game, so they're not going to call anything. Yeah. So it's got to be rough. So
it gets you stronger, and, like, because here in Albuquerque, like, there's a lot of, like, soft calls that are called, so, like, there's a lot of game stoppage because of that. But, like, out of town, it just helps you to, like, play through contact or to initiate contact and, like, be able to finish in hard times, or, like, it just gets you stronger and better as a player. So.
Right.
And in Mexico games, it was funny too, because it was halftime, I think, and you hung on the rim. You jumped and hung on the rim. They teed him up.
Oh yeah, they call it.
They hung on the rim and they teed him up.
That's tough. But hey, good thoughts, guys. We're gonna continue on and talk about a little bit about how to gain personal freedom. So stay tuned. We'll see you when we come back.
Hoops New Mexico basketball courts is coming to Albuquerque soon. 10 full basketball courts and a whole lot more. For more information, contact Dan Serrano at hoopsnm@aybl.com.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, #life change will occur.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
The Barley Room, proud sponsor of Proview Networks for over 9 years, is pleased to introduce Black Iron Catering. From weddings and family reunions to birthdays and office parties, Black Iron Catering is perfect for any event. Contact Jamie at 505-459-8259 and book your event today. Black Iron Catering. Let us bring our kitchen to you.
A little bit of hoops, what's been going on lately. I'm here with DeMarcus and Jordan. We're just kind of finishing up talking about Jordan's series of technical fouls he keeps on getting, but it's unfortunate. Things happen, and so talk a little bit more about that dunk. Like what were you doing? What was the situation?
So it was halftime, and we were coming out of let's pick it up this half. And we broke, and I do this after every half or before every game, just go and grab or slap the glass just to warm up my legs.
Gotcha.
And I guess this ref, he was giving me dirty looks the whole game, and if he had something against me, I don't know, but he just teed me up like that, no warning or no nothing like that. So
yeah, and that's right, because I see guys hang on the rim and they're swinging, and I'm like, you have to let the guy hang on the rim for a little bit, because if if you're swinging forward and then you try to land, you could tear something. And so I think, just having that understanding, hey, when you play above the rim, it's tough. It's tough when you have to get down. But yeah, so today our topic is we're trying to seek personal freedom. We're going to kind of talk about what that means and how we can get it. The first thing I want to talk about what personal freedom is basically you're not really answering to anybody. And what I mean by that is that you're at a certain point in your career, or when you're succeeding, and you're thinking, man, I get to choose my own hours, I get to choose what I wear, I get to do whatever I want, because I've gotten to that place. Maybe it's because when the time you're owning a business or whatever it is. You're just saying, you know what, I'm the one making the calls, I'm the one being the leader. That's a way to have personal freedom, because you're not really at anybody's will or anybody's demand to do anything. So that's something about it. And it's also in control of your own destiny. I think we talk about it a lot in sports. We think about when we're in control of our own destiny, where if we just win a certain amount of games, we know we are controlled. We could win a state title. Like if you're in the state tournament, and if you win each game, you control it. You're the one that controls it. So that's what we're kind of talking about today with personal freedom, is that we want to get to that point. We want to get to the point where we're thinking, man, I have no one to answer to, and so there's ways how to get this. First, we have to work efficiently. Even on days off, I know we could talk about it here. On days off, so for me personally, I don't really like days off. I always find a way to, even if I'm resting physically, I'm doing something mentally. So I know you guys, you go through a lot of practice, a lot of hard work. What do you guys do during your time off? Like when you're recovering or whatever it is. Not when you're on the court, but what happens when you're taking time off?
That's the thing. We don't.
We never
honestly never really take time off, really. I mean, every day me and Jordan will go get shots up, and even then Trisco has open gyms Tuesdays and Thursdays, so, and even on those days we do have open gyms, we go shoot on the shooting machine, we go work out, whatever it may be. That's how we want to be back in that pit.
Right.
That's what we want. We want a ring so bad, and I think we just do anything about to get it. Yeah,
so I think it's tough, because even for me, I take one day off and it just feels weird. I don't like feeling that way. So even just say all right, you're done at 8 o'clock. What do you do? How do you recover? Food wise, sleep wise? Well, what is your regimen on how to recover?
We eat.
Just eat.
I don't eat junk. I'll go home and eat cereal or chicken or rice that my mom will make. And yeah, sleep is always good to have. You can't be playing a lot of basketball or working out a lot and running on just a couple 4 or 5 hours of sleep. You got to make sure that you go to bed at at least 10 o'clock. If you're gonna wake up early, just make sure that you plan accordingly to your schedule.
Right. So yeah, that's what I think too. We have to be really smart about that. During that time, when we're eating, we're drinking, whatever it is, we got to make sure we're smart with that. Then also, we're talking about we don't complain. We can't complain whatever position we're in about being raised in a certain family or a certain situation. So I know there's people that they end up in this certain situation, maybe they're poor, whatever it is, and they're thinking, man, if I was just in this family, I'd be successful. DeMarcus, what do you kind of say to that? You're in a certain situation. You have your family situation. You could have been in any other family, but why does that not matter when it comes to trying to succeed or trying to, strive for success?
Because if you're hungry, you're gonna go get it. And if you're talking about it, saying you want this, you want that, then you would do whatever it took to get there.
Right.
And if you just sulked around about it, then that just shows how lazy of a person you were, and it just shows how hungry you were really for it and not that much.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you must not want it that bad if you're just going to sulk around and not do anything about it.
Right. That's true. What about you? You're in your family situation. You have your name, your body type. Why is that, not really relevant to striving for success?
Well, because if you want to succeed, like, you'll make the changes that you have to make, or like you'll strive for that greatness that you want to achieve. Like, it doesn't matter where you come from. If you work hard at something, like if you want to have A's, or like, for example, get to the next level in a sport, it's up to you to put in that work, because there will be someone or something available to you always to get you where you have to be.
Good. So yeah, that's what we have to really look at it that way, because even if we're in a certain situation, I know there's people that they strive for Division II instead of Division I, and that's huge. And I think it's huge here in New Mexico, because they think, man, I'm just going to play D2, but why are you limiting yourself? And why are you thinking, like, man, that's the only thing we can do? Because if you play D2, I've seen this happen, eventually you don't like it. You're not playing in front of a lot of fans. And maybe you're at a certain place that, your family can't support or can't see you guys all the time. So then what happens is that usually players come back home. And so that's what I'm thinking, like, we are in this certain situation, but if we put ourselves there, how can we complain? Like, how can we complain if we're having this D2 mindset? There's nothing wrong with ending up there, but it's like you have to strive for the best one. And if you fall back, then you're not falling too short. So that was my personal thing. Like, I had a lot of D2 looks, but it was really just, no, I wanted D1. I don't care where I was at. I got to play at the pit in front of a lot of fans, and it was fun for me. So that's what I think that mindset kind of needs to change here, is that we need to think, like, man, we don't have to just settle, for something small. Like, even like, there's people that don't want to go to college and say, I'll just go work for my dad, or go work, for a certain business. But you're gonna have to answer to somebody, and eventually you don't want to end up that way. So we also, like we talked about, you want to use the situation you are in as a determination to achieve your personal freedom. So I guess, DeMarcus, we could talk about this. So your situation right now, you came short of a state championship. Like you said, you could have won. You could have, it could have been certain things, but now that's in the past. So what are you doing now to make sure that's not repeated?
Work.
Okay.
It's simply that. Me and Jordan together, we talk about it at least once every day, at least, because we hated that feeling. I remember just that horn going off, that last horn. It was annoying, and we just want to be back so bad. Like, me and Jordan are in the gym constantly every day, just doing new things, whether it be dribbling, whatever it may be, shooting, just to make sure we didn't miss the shots that we missed in the pit against Volcano.
Gotcha. Because I remember when Kobe Bryant, he missed a wide open, he missed a game-winning shot, went in and out, and then he was right back in the gym practicing that same shot. So I could see that you guys are working on that. What else, Jordan? What else do you think that after that game, now you're in this situation, what's the mindset going forward? And
like DeMarcus said, not only practicing the shots you missed, but also like practicing new shots, like shots that they wouldn't expect. Like me being 6'7", people just would stick me here in New Mexico just in the post and expect me to just shoot layups. But if I become a threat on the outside, and that's what I've been doing, is developing my shot, then how are you going to guard a 6'7"? It's almost like a Kevin Durant in the NBA. He's 7 feet tall, and then when he elevates for his shot, it's like almost unblockable. And then when those start going in, they start coming out, and you just dribble right by for layups or kickouts to your teammates. So if you create a bigger threat of yourself on the court, or like if you just give yourself the tools you need to be even more successful, then it's going to be hard to stop you. Right,
and that's what I think you're definitely on that track, because people want this stuff. People want state championships. I mean, every single team in this, I know every single team, if you said, hey, you want a state championship, they'll take it. But it's about how you're going to get it. I mean, you can't say, you know what, I want it, and then not really work for it. So I'm proud of you guys. I think you guys are doing a good job. You guys have got a good mindset about it. But yeah, like I said, it's really that's what we have to think about life, is that if we really want to succeed, if we really want our own personal freedom, we really have to go that extra mile. We can't afford to take days off. So really good thoughts, guys. We're going to come back for our third segment, talk a little bit more about our personal freedom and other great events coming up here in Albuquerque. So stay tuned.
Hoops New Mexico basketball courts is coming to Albuquerque soon. 10 full basketball courts and a whole lot more. For more information, contact Dan Serrano at hoopsnm@aybl.com.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, #life change will occur.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
The Barley Room, a proud sponsor of Proview Networks for over 9 years, is pleased to introduce Black Iron Catering. From weddings and family reunions to birthdays and office parties, Black Iron Catering is perfect for any event. Contact Jamie at 505-459-8259 and book your event today. Black Iron Catering. Let us bring our kitchen to you.
Welcome back to the Live Sports in New Mexico show. I'm here with DeMarcus and Jordan, talking a little bit of basketball, talking about how we could gain our personal freedom. Just, during the break, we were definitely on the last segment talking about after that loss, what was the mindset after that? You look at the NBA and how that happened. After a while, once you suffer defeat, I think that kind of drives you, because we've seen it before. We've seen, even in football, I know the Patriots one year almost went all the way undefeated, and they never really had lost a game, and then when it was crunch time in the Super Bowl, they end up losing that game. So it's definitely something you guys could use as fuel, to get better. After we kind of see that, last year it was 3-1. The Warriors could have won that one easily, or even before that. Let's go before that, when Kevin Durant was still on the Thunder. When he was still on the Thunder, they could have, they were up 3-1. And they could have done it. So how did that just all unfold? How did we see that unfold with Kevin Durant losing 3-1 and then the Warriors losing 3-1? Why do you think them two just say, you know what, let's join forces?
KD wanted a ring.
That's all it was?
KD wanted a ring, yeah. But after that 3-1,
that's just that, it's odd.
Being up 3-1 and losing in a series, what? You're pretty much in the finals at that point.
Right.
The fans, everyone's thinking they're pretty much in the finals after that 3-1 lead. Back-to-back games winning like that's big. And I think it's simply that right there. Is he wanted a ring.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I'm like, how do you? I don't know, Jordan, help me out. How do you go from, you're about to win, and it was just last night when I watched the finals, I saw KD. I'm happy for him, Finals MVP. But was there anything thinking man, maybe it would have been better if he was still with the Thunder and he's trying to win there? What do you think? Was this something that you thought what, KD deserves it, or would you like to see a little bit more from him?
Well, I feel maybe KD thought. He did want to try and win with the Thunder, but I feel like maybe he didn't. He felt like he didn't have the players other than Westbrook that he needed to win, so he wanted to go find a team that did have the players. Because I feel like after being up 3-1, he was pretty confident, but then seeing how his team couldn't hold on to that lead, I wasn't sure if he was solid like mentally
Right.
saw like these guys have what it takes to come back after losing a lead like that. So
Right, and that's what I saw with the Warriors. I mean, with the difference between the Warriors and the Cavs and these two super teams. I mean, the Cavs, you're seeing like Richard Jefferson, James Jones, Darren Williams, all these really old, seasoned veterans. But on the Warriors side, you're seeing, a rookie come in, McCaw, and all these young guys coming in. So I think what the Warriors are doing is kind of, they're still building up these guys, because what happens when these superstars are gone? You always have to continue to build that. So, again, like we've talked about this, like, free agency is huge. And I think the Warriors, they have done a good job. And what's really cool is, both Durant and, Curry, they give glory to God. And we both, DeMarcus and I, we both had these "In Jesus' Name I Play" bands. And, again, like we kind of talk about a lot of that stuff on the show, like who we play for, what we represent. So basically, I just want to kind of get your guys' motivation. I mean, obviously there is wanting a state championship, but then there's also wanting academic success, college success, and career success. What has really been your driving force, DeMarcus, on wanting to truly, truly succeed?
Get a good education.
Okay.
I just think for the longest time, I've been thinking basketball, and as progressing and going forward in high school, I've been learning that you need an education no matter what. Mm-hmm. And just growing up, seeing guys come straight out of high school into the league and stuff like that, and just get D1 scholarships full ride and just like that. And after getting together with a lot of the teachers, and Jordan helps me out a lot too with my education-based stuff, and he always emphasizes that you need a education, because if basketball doesn't work out, so you get injured or whatever it may be, you could always work whatever you want and still get paid a good amount.
Right.
So I just think education.
That's what we're talking about, that personal freedom. Like, hey, well, if I do the work, I get, I get what I want. So again, Jordan, what has basically been your driving force to really just wanting to be successful?
just like not only to personally like know that I made it, but like also just for my family and for all of my friends, because they always think so highly of me, like how DeMarcus is always giving me praise and how much I help him. And I just want to make those around me proud of what I've done. And I want to be proud of myself and what I've accomplished. I don't want to come short of anything that I'm capable of. And if I just keep putting in the work that I need to academically and physically, then I'll be able to achieve those goals, and I'll be proud of myself, and I hope the others will be proud of where I'll go.
That's good. I've always been big too on family, representing my family, whatever, we have social media now, my family all over the place, and they see me doing good things. I think that they're really proud to know me and proud of what I do. So again, guys, thank you guys for joining me, helping me out today. You guys are always sharing good thoughts. Definitely always welcome to come back, and thank you for talking hoops.
Thanks for having us.
No problem. No problem. But what we kind of want to talk about, just a few things happening in this community. Legacy Church, they're hosting the Beast Feast on Friday. It's an all men's event. There's going to be great dinner for us. There's a gun raffle. There's also going to be a comedian. His name is Bill Ingvall. You may have heard of him. He's going to come by. So I think it's going to be a great event. It's on this Friday for Father's Day weekend. So if you're looking for a Father's Day gift, look no further than Legacy Church. Go to their website and look up Beast Feast, and the tickets will be right there. Also, we have our Legacy Academy Golf Tournament coming up later July. So I've been trying to get better at golf. I'm not that good, but
no patience.
Yeah, it's tough. It's a different animal. It's a different sport mentally. But yeah, that's going to go on later on in the month of July. Guys, thanks for joining us. Continue to check us out. We're on YouTube. We're at Proview TV, channel 26 on Comcast. So again, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week.